I got this beautiful bottle, had a few pours, shared a few pours, but I've not had time to sit down and enjoy it and drink it. So I think it's time to do a review. Is this worth a hunt? Let's find out. Let's go. Welcome back to Old Fashioned Ways Plus, and today we are doing a review on this old Fitzgerald 13-year Bourbon VVS 2024. Yep, a lot to say. Well, before we get into this, I'm gonna give myself a little pour and let this breathe and set it aside. Nice, look at that cork and everything. It's very beautiful. I love that these come in a decanter so that you're actually able to use it afterwards as well. Oh, let's set this aside and let it breathe for a little bit. So this old Fitzgerald is a Bourbon. It's a 25th anniversary edition commemorating the anniversary of Heaven Hill acquiring the historic Bourbon Distillery. This old Fitzgerald Bourbon is the 25th anniversary edition. It's commemorating the anniversary of Heaven Hill acquiring the historic Bourbon Distillery, along with the old Fitzgerald brand. Comprised of 13-year-old barrels, this edition ushers the latest release in the decanter series. And a beautiful decanter it is, right? Since 2018, there have only ever been 2 other VVS releases, including VVS 2018 14-year-old and VVS 2020 16-year-old. As always, anytime I do a review, I'll give away some samples, so stay tuned to find out how you can win a sample of this. Time to get into the bottle details. Bottle details. Old Fitzgerald Bourbon 13-year VVS 2024. Classification: straight bourbon whiskey. Distillery: Old Fitzgerald. Release date: 2024. Proof: it's a Bourbon, so it's 100 proof, making it 50% ABV. This is aged 13 years. Finish: there is none stated. Mashbill: 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. MSRP is $230. Anytime I do a review, I do a scoring system of 1 to 10 on aroma, flavors, complexity, mouthfeel, finish, and would I buy again. All right, it's time for the fun part. We get to do a review. But if you're watching, I don't know how many of you noticed, I actually poured out 2 drinks. And why did I pour out 2 drinks? Because I feel like the weather is changing. So what kind of weather are we having?
Whiskey weather.
Whiskey weather, right?
Yes.
So here.
It's always whiskey weather.
It is
in our world.
In our world, true. So I'll let you choose which one you want. I accidentally poured one a little bit more than the other. So which one do you want to choose?
Per usual, and I'll grab this one.
Damn it, she noticed. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything, huh?
Oh, I noticed.
Oh, of course you do. You're lower level to it, so
exactly.
You can actually see it there. So we're reviewing today the Old Fitzgerald.
Yes.
You have a beautiful bottle of this at home as well.
I do.
But have you opened yours?
I have not.
Yeah, why? Because you have mine open. Why
exactly.
open yours?
Why open mine?
Open yours.
Mine's sitting there beautifully on the counter.
But it's a beautiful bottle, right?
It is.
But is the juice as beautiful as the bottle? You know, that's what really matters, right? So we're gonna go into it. Just as usual, we're gonna go through our rating system. So let's just first kind of look at this. Nice color. That's a nice amber. That's a nice amber. It's 13 years, so it is a pretty fall. Perfect timing, huh? Pretty fall color. And look at that. Ooh, that does stick to the glass pretty well. Little tight ones, they're starting to form now, so that's pretty good.
I was like, gosh, well, there it goes.
Well, if you stop rolling it and let it actually form.
I got it. I know, but it was like this. I was like, oh my gosh, we can see it.
Oh my goodness. All right, so first let's go for aroma. Let's smell that. Let's see what that smells like. Oh, that's actually very sweet.
Oh, it is.
It is 100 proof, so it's not very high, and that alcohol does not hit you.
Smells good.
It does smell good. Like with most bourbons, you're gonna get that, that caramel. You're gonna get some of that vanilla, but just kind of trying to get into it and see what else you get. Actually, you get a little bit of tobacco in there.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of leather notes as well.
Some raisins.
You do get some raisins in there. It's so funny. Not a big raisin fan myself, but this one actually smells really good.
It does smell really good.
So on aroma, from 0 to 10, 0 being bad score, 10 being a perfect score, what are you gonna give the aroma?
10 out of 10.
You think that's a perfect aroma?
No, yeah, that actually sounds pretty beautiful.
So are you seriously going 10?
I'm going 10.
All right.
All in.
Man, you're gonna have a high
going
score.
All in. It's beautiful weather. It's
so my
weather.
score for this is gonna be 6.5. It's actually really good.
It was the raisins.
It was the raisins.
It's the raisins that did it.
All right. Well, the fun part.
You wasted
The fun part.
You better pick that box.
Let's go for our first taste. It's interesting how that hit my nose as I was bringing it in. Like big whiff in my nose.
I can feel that going down slowly.
You can feel it even for 100 proof. It's not too hot, but there is a spice in the front of that.
Yeah.
Like there is a little bit of spicy, but there is a sweetness that covers it pretty quickly. I do taste vanilla, and it kind of went through it kind of fast because I kind of took a whiff in, and that kind of threw me off on it. So for my initial, I didn't get a whole bunch of it. What did you have anything else that you got on that?
I really just got spicy. I haven't tasted sweetness yet, which I'm surprised on because the aroma is pretty sweet.
Yeah. So what do you, on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you give the initial flavor?
The first taste, I'd give it a 6.
Well, I'm actually going with the 6 as well. So I'm going to have you write it. Why am I reaching across here? Why am I reaching across here? So next we're going to go in for complexity. How does this evolve on the tongue, right? So
it's not very thick. It's
no,
very quick
and that's a mouthful, right? But on the tongue, for some reason, I got some nuttiness. I got like I didn't see this on anything else, but I got like an apple kind of taste in it, and I don't know why I hadn't had that before. So I've had this just a few pours of this, but never really by itself. I've always had it like when I've had other drinks, so that always influences how you are. But this is my first drink, right?
I taste a little bit of orange in there.
Yeah, there's some orange. There's that caramel. There's that vanilla. But that sweetness kind of goes away kind of quickly. That spiciness stays there.
Right in the back of the throat.
Which is really interesting because this is, wheat in here. And usually you get that when you have rye. So if I were to guess this in a blind, I would think this was actually more of a rye.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, complexity, it goes, like you said, it does kind of go through it kind of quickly. Mm-hmm. So on complexity, what would you give that?
A 6.
I'm actually staying with the 6 as well.
Jedi mind reader.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So now we're going in for the mouthfeel. How does this feel in the mouth? The thickness, the viscosity on it, right?
Oh, they got a hint of what I was gonna say.
Ooh. So that taste added a lot more that darkness, that oakiness.
Yeah, dark chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. That dark chocolate came through on that third taste. Isn't it weird how now you're getting that evolution? So you get all that first part that was kind of quickly, but that kind of just hit the mid palate right there. Mm-hmm. Now, thickness, I know you said kind of, I think, so thickness for me, it stays on my tongue decently, but the flavor fades really quickly, right? So that viscosity is there, but to me, the flavor kind of goes pretty quickly because I still have the hint of the flavor, but it's not super strong and forward, right? So I think that's what you're trying to say on that, what you're kind of hinting at last one. So for that, what would you say for mouthfeel? What would you give that score?
A 7.
Okay. It's funny, actually. That's about where I'm on it as well. So stop reading my mind. Yeah. All right. Now for the finish. This is what kind of we're talking about. How long does it stay, right? So let's get that finish in there. Let's get that last bit of what does this taste like to us and go from there.
I'm definitely getting a lot more of the sweetness. I still feel that little kind of burn in the back of my throat. But I taste the dark chocolate, the raisin, definitely in there. Yeah,
and see, I still have that nuttiness as well. Like there's like an almond taste in there as well. Mm-hmm. You have that chocolate, but in the beginning, it kind of goes to a little bit of cinnamon spicy. Like there's a little bit of spice in that front, right? Then I get that vanilla. Then I get that chocolate. Then I get that like chocolate with the nuttiness at the end of it, and that's what I get. It does dry the tongue, so you do get some of that drying on there. But it's not overly drying. It's not like one of those where like it's so tannicky. And a lot of times you'll get that as it ages more. But I think because it's 100 proof, it doesn't hit that where it just completely dries your mouth and takes away all their flavors. So I do like that actually. As a finish, that's where we're on finish, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we go on to rambles and we're like, where were we at? It doesn't last as long as I would like it, but it has a nice strong flavor to it. So I'm actually going to give that a 7. What are you going to give it?
I was going to give it an 8.
Okay. There we go.
I like how the taste evolves to something else every time, like you taste it. So,
would I buy again?
Oh,
that's what that is.
Would we?
All right, you're changing this to would we buy again? So, would we buy again? So, before you answer that,
they probably know my answer.
It's a $230 bottle at MSRP. Now, trying to find that $230 is very hard. I think on secondary it goes for between $600 and $700, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But there's multiple reasons for that. It's the 25th anniversary. It's the third time they release it as a VVS, right? It's 13 years and it comes in this beautiful decanter. So that's why. So at $230, I actually would buy again.
I would too.
And I know you would. At $700?
I don't know if I'd buy it.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
And because it's a limited release, it's a special release, that's what makes it kind of hard. Like for me to give it a higher ranking. Yes, I would buy again at $230, but when you notice secondary is going to be closer to $700, it's hard, right? So because of the scarcity, because of that, that's why my score for this ends up being a little bit lower. If we knew we could find out $230 every day, I'd give it a higher score. But for me, I'd say yes, but it's a 5 for me.
Yeah. Well, on the secondary market?
Well, I'm just saying, like, in general, because I know a lot of people are not going to be able to get this. It's going to be hard to get.
Yeah.
And so I look at that and think about that. Like, how easy is it for somebody else to get?
Yeah.
I mean, you know. So we were lucky because Kentucky Bourbon Festival had it. We were in line. We were able to get it there.
Sprained my ankle and everything.
Yeah, you did. You did. And then a little whiskey cleared that up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what? You didn't have any swelling after that. So either you were faking it or whiskey heals.
Yeah, whiskey's a cure.
Yeah, whiskey weather for sure.
It was definitely whiskey weather.
So for me, it's a 5. What are you giving that a buy again?
A 6.
Okay.
Yeah. I do like the complexity of the flavor and everything like that, but at that secondary price, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's questionable.
All right, so let's add this up. All right, so looking at this, we're actually pretty close in scores considering that you gave a 10 right off the bat, and then you went kind of similar to what we were. So you got 43 out of 60. I got 41.5 out of 60. I think actually that's a really good solid score for what this is, you know?
Yeah.
For being the price that it is, you know, not a lot of people are going to go out there and pay $2.30 for a bottle. And a lot of times I don't think $2.30, most bottles are worth that. But I think because this bottle is so reusable, I think the juices in it is really good. Even at 100 proof, there's a lot that comes through with that. I do like it. So, you have any thoughts?
Give me a second. Let me think. But I do think it's a beautiful bottle. I would definitely buy it just for the bottle. I did.
You did.
I did originally, but the liquid inside of it is pretty good. Like I said before, like I really do like the complexity of it, of the taste. It was very like spicy in the beginning, and then I started tasting all these different flavors. Yeah. So it was very interesting, and I feel like it's a very good like bourbon.
Yeah.
Bourbon.
Yeah. And know what? When you're saying that, know what thoughts went through my head? You're not going to open yours. I'm going to be missing my decanter.
Yes.
And so I'm not even going to have a decanter at the end of this.
Yes. Because you spilled some of it.
How does that have to deal with anything with the decanter?
Yeah, you don't deserve it.
All right. Well, let's talk about how you can win a sample, because it's with anything. Anytime I do a review, I do give away samples. So first of all, if you like this kind of video and you like this kind of content, make sure to hit that like button. And in the comments below, if you have a decanter that's not going to be stolen from you, what do you have in your decanter? Like, what do you have in yours? I actually have a few decanters. And one, I actually have all my Stag Juniors. I have a Stag Junior decanter infinity bottle. And so, I mean, you don't have a decanter that you use yet.
No, but that's good to know. I made notes in my head that you have that.
All right. Oh, crap. So I'm curious, what do you guys have? If you have a decanter, what do you have in it? Also, in the comments below, tell them, what are we adding? Hashtag what?
Hashtag old fits.
Yeah. So in the comments below, add
hashtag old fits one more time.
One more time. All right, friends. Thank you for joining me on another journey down my bourbon rabbit hole. Thanks for joining me today again, for helping me drink my bourbon.
Always.
All right. To our next journey, my friends. Cheers.
Cheers.